Thanks for coming, we're glad you're here. Our next order of business is to approve the minutes from our public meeting that was held on November 3rd. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written or provide edits.
So moved.
I'd second that.
Okay, have you both had a chance to go through them? Do you see anything that needs to be amended or changed in any way?
Nope.
All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Great minutes.
Nothing but the best. The 18 is back today, too.
Oh, yeah, just gotta make up the time.
All right, where are we with action items? The one the three of us have is meeting times for budget hearings. It was suggested at the last meeting by somebody, I believe, Sarah, that might want to stagger those times, have one early, one late. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I like the way you have it written here. I like the first one at 6:30. It's probably the most important one anyways. It's when most of the items will come up, and then the second one at 4:30. It's fine with me. I don't really have a preference other than that, but it's good to see that evening one. I think that's a good idea.
How do you feel about it, Dick?
I like the idea. I think that covers a lot of people's needs. I don't know everybody, but certainly a lot of people will be able to attend. As I said before, I think there are people who don't care to drive after dark that the earlier meeting will be good for, and I think the 6:30 start is good for folks that work, and I think it should bring everybody that's interested in being here. I think it gives them a chance, so
All right.
I like it.
Well, we had already announced other times. Are we just good with changing that? Should we make a motion and a vote? What do you guys feel about that? Are we good to
I
just
think we could just
turn
change
around
the
and say,
times.
we've changed the meeting times. The first budget hearing will be scheduled on January 12th, same date, different time. 6:30 is when the budget hearing is scheduled to start. And then our second budget hearing, number 2, will remain on the same day, Thursday, February 9th, but that one will stay. Is that the same time, 4:30? Okay, great.
And the selectmen's meeting on the 12th is at 6, not 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And those will be posted as accordingly as well. So, other than that, there were no other action items, so I'll just read through the list of upcoming meetings one more time since it's settled. As settled as anything can be on November 17th. Next scheduled meeting is Thursday, December 15th at 4 p.m. The other December meeting will be Thursday, December 29th at 4 p.m. The first meeting will be January 12th, and that will begin at 6 p.m., followed by the budget hearing, number 1, at 6:30. And then the other January meeting will be Thursday, January 26th at 4 p.m. And our first meeting in February will be Thursday, February 9th at 4 p.m., and that will be followed up by the budget hearing number 2 at 4:30. Anything else?
Sounds good.
Action item related? No? Okay, great. Any comments on that before we move on to public comments? Ask you to comment on anything at all you want to comment about? Okay, public comments. Sarah?
Yes. It was brought to my attention by a taxpayer that our fire truck was taken up Mount Washington. And I would like to know how that came about and where is the prudency in this? So if you could give me the information, please, as to how that came about. Was it okayed by the selectmen? What was the purpose of it? And I'm a little concerned that a $500,000 truck went up a mountain if there wasn't a reason why.
It's on Channel 9 News.
Yep.
Okay?
Dick, John, any
Did
response?
you have more?
Another comment, but I'll make that later.
Okay. From what I understand is the state, because there is no fire coverage for the top of the notch will pay for whatever turnouts would be up there. And Jay felt that they had to find out what it was going to take to do, to have fire protection for the summit, even the top of the notch Pinkham or the auto road, the base of the auto road. So that's what it came down to. I mean, it's just, what can we do? And they have to pretty much figure out if it's a viable situation. It will be.
John, anything to add?
That's Gorham's district.
It isn't. It's a non-district.
Are you sure?
I am. It is a non-district. And Gorham and Jackson are going to be the first responders for anything that happens up there. That's why the state is going to pay for it. So if there's a turnout for a fire, the cost of that, well, you can roll your eyes, but that's the situation.
How much light did it take out of the truck to go up and down?
Any other comments? George?
Is there a task from the state that levied that requirement on us? Is that written?
Well, there seems to be a lot of interest in questions surrounding that, so I'm happy to put it on the next meeting's agenda and go into it in depth. No one submitted a request to have it on this agenda, and yet we've got 3 people that would like to have discourse or just have us be more prepared to talk about it in depth. So, John and Dick, unless you feel differently, I'll put that item on our next agenda.
Sounds good.
Any other comments before we move on? First comments, and I'll circle back around for second comments. Sarah?
Yes, concerning the budget hearings, I'm requesting that the selectmen have available prior to the budget hearing the salaries of all the town employees, the amount of monies. How do I put this? And if I say it wrong, please correct me so I can get my answer. How much, I know the town goes to interlocal trust for their insurance. I'm not asking for the individual person's insurance, but I would please like to have it stated what it costs for a family plan, what it costs for a 2-family or a single person. I would also like to know what percentage an employee pays for each plan, how much we request. It must be corrected from John to me that the school pays 20%, but the town is, the municipal is different.
I don't know about Jackson School, I'm saying when I was at Kennett, it was 20%.
All right, thank you. Also, so that salary, the benefit of insurance, what it costs, the percentage that the employee has to pay for each one, how much goes into New Hampshire retirement for salary, what's in a level of salary, not the individuals, but the level of salary, what the town pays for that. Also, I would like to know how much contract hire we've had and who it was and what we paid out for that. And also, too, any outside of the town garage mechanical, be it springs or other replacement parts for our vehicles. And as I say, any contract hire, just about the salaries. I think that this is something that is in other town warrants, and I would also request that it be put on the Jackson computer, not e-news, but the Jackson Town
Website?
So that people who do, unlike myself, who doesn't, who have a computer, that they could look at it so they have access to this prior to the first 6:30 budget hearing on January.
Okay.
Now, please correct me if I asked it in an inappropriate way, So that I'm not asking for any individual employees, but I'm asking in general. I think we can get their salaries, but I'm not asking if they take a family or, that type of thing. This type of knowledge, I think, is very basic for our budget.
Okay. I would ask you to make sure you put that in writing and submit it to the office so there's no miscommunication or misunderstanding exactly what you're asking for. We treat every written request the same way. We vet it if we have concerns, and if the feedback we get is that it's information we're not allowed to release, we won't. If it's information that we aren't kept from releasing, we will.
Okay.
Are there any other public comments? Okay. Did you want a third go around at a comment, or do you have a series of questions?
No, I just wanted to say I don't know if I have to meet with the selectmen or Julie or who, but I would request that maybe I could get some help making it so I'm not asking for something that's against an RSA. That's all. So I don't have to do it several times.
Final comments, John or Dick?
No, I'm good.
I'd say
Okay.
just, make your request and we'll look at it, and
Tell
if
you.
we can't answer it, we won't. So, I just put it in.
Well, before I got the answers I wanted, but it took me 6 or 8 tries because I didn't write it in the proper fashion. So I'm asking for help writing it in the proper fashion so I don't have to do it that many times. That's all.
Okay.
So we'll move on to building inspector. And Kevin couldn't make it here to provide us with an in-person weekly report, but we do have the copies of the building permits on the agenda for today. We have one from map V10, lot 08, sublot OA, and this is on Norton Drive, and it is to extend the existing deck by 4 feet. Second one is map R16, lot 18, up on 49 Doublehead Drive, and this is a permit to extend the building permit and relocate the existing bedroom from the loft to the first floor area, and there are poured concrete footings involved with that project. And the third one is for map R17, lot 31A, sublot E11. And this is on 43 Eastfield Road. And this is to finish the basement and add a 3/4 bath and rec room. Comments, Dick or John?
Nope.
All right. That's the building inspector's portfolio. 5A, new business. We have the one and only 2017 Household Hazardous Waste Day coming up on
September next year.
September 23rd of next year. And this is the time of year where they ask us for a commitment amount for the hazardous waste day that all towns commit to. Last year, our commitment was for $1,250 worth of assistance, and we paid out $1,144.32 to the town for their collection of hazardous waste, which includes everyone in our town. Thoughts, John or Dick, about an amount, if any, to commit to the next hazardous waste day?
Keep it the same.
Yeah, I actually took part in it this year and thought it was pretty efficient.
Great. Okay. Well, then shall one of you make a motion to fund it for $1,250?
George, you got a question?
When I made the deposit at the waste day, there was a questionnaire whether you would want more than one a year, and they offered primarily, 2 times a year. Did you get any feedback from that survey? Was 2 years, more than once a year, a consideration in the levy that you just talked about?
I didn't.
No.
Okay.
I didn't hear about that. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but.
Yeah, there's a need, but I haven't heard of one. So do we want to go ahead and make a motion, or you want to table this for another day, or are we ready to flat fund or increase?
I would go with this for now. We haven't heard anything from them, so
Great.
Yeah.
I'd fund it at this level.
And that's your motion?
It is.
Well, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good. And it's got one spot here for a
You can sign it
signature.
then.
I'll go ahead and do that then. And write that in. 50. Very good. Next up, we have a withdrawal request wording from the trustee of the trust funds. And the wording is that we're requesting the following withdrawals from the trust funds as indicated below, and I'll read. $30,000 from State Aid Reconstruction Expendable Trust Fund 0058, Pike Industries, Inc., dated July 29th, 2016, and that is invoice number 34639. And we had $35,550 from the Highway Truck Capital Reserve Fund 0048, which will go to HP Fairfield. That's dated October 19th, 2016, invoice 5554575. And $5,000 from the Road Reconstruction Capital Reserve Fund for Sir Lancelot LLC, dated November 7th, 2016, invoice 2234. And $50,217.90 from the Transfer Station Expendable Trust Fund 0028 for miscellaneous invoices dated July 2016 through November 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Anything to comment on or discuss on any of those?
I just wonder why it takes so long if they have invoices from July, why they're getting paid now.
For the transfer station, we've just been accumulating.
Oh, okay. So they're not frothing at the mouth?
No, they've been paid.
All right.
Good.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Very good. Motion passes. Next up, intent to cut. Notice of intent to cut timber permit submitted by Robert Davis and Randy and B. And let's see here, this is map R24, lot 2. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Ah,
Good.
delay it.
Sorry.
17, 16.
You got updates?
Here, pack. Here, pack. It's like this.
I'm not
Excellent.
You know what he's buying.
Okay, one other thing on the new business that came up is that we have had employees in town that have been given gift certificates of appreciation and didn't feel comfortable accepting them. Asked some questions of our CPA and it was able to be confirmed that they were not able to accept the gift cards. So they wondered what they should be doing with them. And the gift cards are $25 each, so they total $75. One was left for the Jackson Police, and then one each for Julie and Julie. And so the suggestion from the accountant was to take the gift certificates and spend them at the office party. One is
I'll make that motion.
Glen Ledge Corner Store, Hannaford's, and what was the other one? Stowe Corner Store. So that's the plan with the gift certificates, so that everything stays on the up and up. So I entertain a motion to allow us to spend those gift certificates on our Christmas party.
I make that motion.
I'll second it, I guess.
Anything else to add on any of that? All those in favor,
No.
say aye. Very good. Motion passes. On to old business for the transfer station update, John.
Let's see, transfer station, they got the bins all blocked up. They have purchased those and Pat and crew and have installed the bins for the recycling, so that's almost ready. They have to build a wall and shelf to meet requirements for so people don't fall in. And the grading is pretty much all done. Hopefully they'll put the store back. We have a parking area on the far side that will be accessible for people to get to the store when that's reinstalled. Hopefully that'll be pretty soon, but we're almost done with phase one. So.
Excellent. Thanks for the update.
Oh,
Just a real quick question. At the last meeting, you said they would not be able to pave it because they ran out of funds.
well, we've over budgeted or overspent for our budget for the first phase, and we didn't want to, obviously go over that budget. So we're going to put it in phase two somehow, make some cuts somewhere, and revamp it for more money when we come back for the second round of monies for that. But, yeah, we ran out of money for this season to pave, unfortunately.
Made a decision earlier on that it wasn't going to work timing-wise to pave this close to winter and that it would benefit to have it settle. We decided we should pave, and then we decided to spend more money on concrete pads as opposed to asphalt pads because we're using roll-off containers in there and they would divot it up. So to spend the extra money on the concrete pad seemed to make sense. And that moves us right into public comments. Any more public comments? B.
What's the scoop on the police department?
We convened a panel and interviewed candidates Monday, and we will be conducting second interviews of the top qualified candidates, probably at some point, as soon as we can schedule them. Sarah?
May I just further on that, how many further interviews, the second interviews, how many do you have that you've gone through X amount? How many did you take the first interview and how many are you taking for the?
Yeah, it's a small group, and so I don't feel confident from a confidential standpoint talking about things like that.
All the numbers. Okay, back to the police again. Exactly what was the package that was given, if you can give that to Mr. Coughlin? And also, too, he was one of the candidates, I believe, that we paid for his education, and he was that's less than 3 years. Did we get paid back for that, or was that part of his package that we did?
The selectmen are not allowed to comment on any separation agreements like that, but it is available for the public to see. So you're more than welcome to take a look at it, but we're not welcome to talk about it. So that's available at the town clerk's office, and if you file a right to know request, I'm sure you'll be able to get a copy of
It's in the
that.
paper.
It was in the Manchester Union.
You can download it.
I don't have a computer, but I can get it at the town office, that's all that I want to know.
Other comments? George?
The fire truck to Mount Washington, it was a fairly high visibility event, as I would see it, since it made the state news, Channel 9 and so forth. Were you aware that it was going on, you the selectman?
We can go ahead and talk about that at our next meeting, rather than take a bunch of questions about it that no one's asked us to sort of prepare an agenda item to discuss. I'll be happy to do that.
I thought
Next
that-
week.
That's something yes or no.
Yeah.
We'll wait till next.
Any other comments? All right, anything else to add to the meeting, gentlemen? Very good, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
All right?